Yo, what's up everybody? So, today we're going to be breaking down my hopeful wish list of Season 2 for Sonic Racing Crossworlds. We've only made it through the Minecraft and SpongeBob packs of the Season 1 DLC, but especially with Izuka hinting at it, I think it's okay to go ahead and brainstorm for what the next year of Sonic Racing Crossworlds is going to contain. Now, like I said, it's just a hopeful wish list. It isn't a prediction. So I don't want anyone to go into this video thinking some of these picks are what I think is going to happen. It's just what I hope would happen. If you disagree with any of these picks, because some of them are very unlikely and honestly outrageous, but I love it, let me know in the comments. If you agree and think they're awesome ideas, also leave it in the comments. The reasonable pick on this list is none other than the purple fire-breathing, can't fully fly dragon himself, Spyro, alongside his good pal Hunter the Cheetah. While at first I did consider putting Spyro alongside Nasty Nork, I decided it would be best to steer away from the clutches of nostalgia and go with another series mainstay, since hopefully we'll be looking at a new villain in the heavily rumored Spyro 4. Fans of CTR will know that this isn't Spyro and Hunter's first time in a kart racing adventure, so we can pull some inspiration from CTR Nitro Fueled when planning out what the full DLC pack looks like. First up, let's talk about their typings. Although in CTR Nitro Fueled, Spyro was a speed type and Hunter a balance type, I feel that those could use a change in Sonic Racing Crossworlds. So for this DLC pack, we'll have Spyro as an acceleration type and Hunter as a speed type. I mean, he is a cheetah. As far as their vehicle goes, I think we are just going to take it directly from CTR Nitro Fueled and bring over the incredibly sick Dragon Scale car that fits Spyro perfectly. Sorry Hunter, but you're not the main character here. We are going to respect Spyro's typing in CTR by making this vehicle a speed type, which brings us to the final element of the DLC pack, the track. I waffled on this a few times when brainstorming this video, but ultimately I decided to not fix what isn't broken. Spyro Circuit in CTR is an incredibly fun track, and I think alongside a few tweaks, it will do a great job of honoring the legacy of the Spyro the Dragon series in Sonic Racing Crossworlds. The next DLC pack is one that is picked solely on vibes and fan reception alone. I personally don't know a lot about the series, but I do know that the Sonic community and this community are pretty tight-knit, and the second DLC pack we'll be bringing in another Dream Traveler to go alongside Knights, except for this one has Kingdom Hearts level drip. Klonoa, the lovable rabbit cat, will be the titular character of our second DLC pack. However, without knowing much about Klonoa, it took a bit of research to determine who I felt should enter a Crossworld alongside him. At first, I considered adding in a Dig Dug as another Namco mascot, but after some consideration and really sick fan art, I was convinced that Gunts, the shadow to Klonoa Sonic, should be his Crossworld companion. Although, I could be wrong, I clocked Klonoa as a handling character, and Gunts as a power character for this DLC pack. But neither of them will be completely out of speed, since they will be accompanied by Klonoa's semi-iconic hoverboard, which, as an extreme gear, automatically falls into the boost category. This brings us to the track. To finish off this DLC pack, sadly, I could not fully flesh out an idea for the track to accompany Klonoa or Gunts. But if this DLC pack comes true, I trust Sonic Team to honor the series with a track that incorporates elements and areas from all eras of the series. Except, maybe leave the beach volleyball court out. The next DLC pack is one that I know much more about than Klonoa, and might be the most realistic of any of these DLC picks. With the ongoing merchandise and comics collab between Sonic and DC, I feel it would be a massive missed opportunity for the big three to not enter a Crossworld. Our third DLC pack will be three of the biggest characters in the pop culture zeitgeist: Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Honestly, these three characters' typings immediately came to me and made sense. Batman will be zipping through the streets of Gotham as an acceleration type. Superman will continue to push Flash to his limit as a speed type, and Wonder Woman will represent the islands of Themyscira as a power type. The vehicle for this pack has a very obvious answer, but it was still a decision I was stuck on for quite a while. Although, it would be absolutely hilarious to use a version of the Invisible Jet, or as great as it would be to have Shadow and Batman Aura farming on matching motorcycles. DC Comics has a vehicle that is more iconic than some of their A-list characters. Looking at you, Hal Jordan. The mean streets of Radical Highway will be facing the dominating speed and power of the Supermobile. This vehicle was used by Superman in Action Comics number 481 in March of 1978. Okay, obviously, I'm joking. There was never really a question what vehicle would be in this DLC pack. However, there is a twist to that. This DLC pack will be bringing in 4 different Batmobiles, one for each typing and inspired by some of the more iconic Batmobiles throughout history. Speed, inspired by the 1989 movie Batmobile. Acceleration, inspired by the Robert Pattinson Batmobile. Handling, inspired by the Adam West TV show Batmobile. And the power type, inspired by the Christian Bale Tumbler Batmobile. The most iconic vehicle in media should be treated as such, and I felt this was the only way to do that. After all of that, we still have to figure out the track. Since Batman is getting so much love in the vehicles of this pack, I felt it would only be fair to not make the mean streets of Gotham a track. So instead, we will be drifting around the Watchtower in a track inspired by the aesthetic of the Justice League cartoon and the space station track feel of Mario Kart 8's Rainbow Road. To conclude on this DLC pack, I do want to say, I sincerely hope that if these characters are brought over for Crossworlds, we also get skins for the Sonic characters based on the merch and comics. Shadow Batman and the Battinson Mobile would become an instant co-main. Okay. Now that the most likely DLC with the largest amount of content provided so far is over, it's time to go to the biggest pipe dream imaginable. A character that absolutely no one has thought of. The early 2000s pre-gentrification Nesquik Bunny. You may consider me a madman for this, but very few characters match the black cultured inspired drip of early 2000s Sonic. Genuinely, does this short sleeve shirt over long sleeve shirt skateboarding rabbit not look like he is grinding down the same rails as Sonic in City Escape? Although, there isn't really a second character I could come up with to accompany this drip god, I would be open to a strawberry milk variation as a second character or skin. The Nesquik Bunny would be a boost-styled character that comes with a skateboard extreme gear. He doesn't have a game or world to really pull from, so for his track, I think Sega should develop a cartoon version of City Escape that replaces the original ads with Nesquik ads. This is by far my most wanted DLC pack. I genuinely just think it would be incredibly cool to have this character in the game. Now it's time to snap back to reality and to get a bit more of a realistic pick. There have been some rumors online of another kart racing game being developed for the CTE mascot Crash Bandicoot himself. And I think having Crash appear in Sonic Racing Crossworlds and Sonic appear in the next CTR would be absolutely incredible. Stepping into this Crossworld alongside Crash, the mentally messed up marsupial, would be his sister Coco Bandicoot. With a rich history in kart racing games, Crash and Coco are the easiest to cross over into Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Crash would be an acceleration character, and Coco a handling character. I was debating if I wanted to use the standard CTR kart, or if I wanted to get a little weird and have them bring over Crash's vehicle from Tag Team Racing. But ultimately, I decided that the Team Bandicoot kart from Nitro Fueled would be their ride in Crossworlds. And it would be the first boost-type kart to represent the drift-centric mechanic of CTR. Not only does it represent both siblings, but it also has a sneaker-like design that could be really cool to customize for Sonic characters. For their track, it obviously needs to pay homage to the Crash series, and to do so, I think they should make a course that combines elements of the tracks Crash Cove and Cortex Castle, in a similar manner to the Minecraft track. I think Lap 1 should be Crash Cove, and Lap 3 evolves into Cortex Castle. I think this pack also has a pretty high chance of getting into the game, but personally, I'd choose Spyro over Crash. This brings us to the final DLC pack in my Dream Season 2 DLC. And just know, I'm not a fan of this franchise, so right now, my dreams are supporting all of you that are. Inarguably the most epic crossover that could ever happen with the Sonic franchise. My last DLC pack would be crossing over into a world of apes with a long history in the video game genre. That's right, Goku and Vegeta are coming to Crossworlds. Did I make you think it was DK? No. I love Diddy Kong Racing and would never slander the DK franchise. One of my biggest hangups on the Dragon Ball cast entering the world of Sonic is I think, proportionally, they'd feel really out of place. I'm not a massive fan of full-size humans interacting with the Sonic cast. I honestly think Ichiban looks very out of place. And you may say, I see, you're being a hypocrite because you didn't say that about the DC characters. But honestly, I envision the DC characters in their multiverses cartoon aesthetic. So, to fit Goku and Vegeta into the world of Sonic, I would be bringing in the Daima mini versions of Goku and Vegeta. Their shortened Kid Goku-esque aesthetics would fit in significantly better with the Sonic cast. I would have Goku be a power character, while Vegeta is acceleration. Goku would be bringing along his Nimbus Cloud as an extreme gear, and they would be competing against the Sonic cast, and Superman, around different iconic locations from the series, such as the Kame House, the Cell Games Arena, etc. Ultimately, although I'm not the world's biggest Dragon Ball fan, I can't argue against the impact they have had on the Sonic franchise, and with that impact, it would be a crime not to capitalize on this crossover opportunity. Yo, that brings us to the end of my Sonic Racing Crossworlds Year 2 DLC. While not all of the picks are very likely, some may even lean towards impossible to happen, I still think that this is a really fun project and a really fun idea. The Sonic franchise is on fire right now, and I cannot wait to see what else they have in store for Sonic Racing Crossworlds. If you have any ideas of what you would like to see in Year 2 of DLC, or any agreements or disagreements with my list, leave it in the comment sections below. Yo, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you leave that like. And if you want more content like it, subscribe to the channel. If you want some recommendations on other things to watch, click either of the videos on your screen now.